Wait, did people really sexually harass Vecna into becoming unattractive? Remember all that? Vecnusi this, Vecnusi that. Bechara, he must be like, just make me a tree. Stranger Things Season 5 Volume 1 is now up, and things have changed so drastically that I was kind of feeling embarrassed watching it. And no, not because it's bad. In fact, every fan will probably be quite pleased with it. It's just that it has aged so much visually that I was wondering, yaar, is there really nothing going on in my life that I'm still watching this after 10 years? Maybe I should have moved on. Season 5 opens with a recap of Will's first encounter with the Upside Down. He was little with a bowl cut back then. We get to know that Vecna marked him as his first human recruit in a scene which, if you ask me, was kind of unsettling. What do you mean you'll do wonderful things and you're touching a small child like that? That flashback wraps up in about 5 minutes, and then we get to see Hawkins in the year Season 5 is taking place in. And this place is now put under quarantine by the military because, well, last season the earth split up and all that, but somehow nobody seems to care. Nobody's questioning ki okay, earthquake mein aise hota hai, but what was all that red and all that lava kind of a thing? Nobody cares. So even now, it's still Joyce, Hopper, Eleven, the main kids, and a few other people who are in the know. And how is that possible? Anyway, this time around, everybody has just one goal: find and kill Vecna. This is also where the difference between how the show started and where it has landed now begins to stare at you in the face. My god, it has been 10 years. I had to Google again to recheck, because who drags a show for 10 years? Is this some sort of a loyalty check? If I release the finale after 10 years, will you still watch me? What worked best for season 1 and what gave it a cult following was that it literally pit innocent young children against two very big antagonists. One was the evil science lab conducting torture experiments on kidnapped children, and the other was the Demogorgon. So there was a big power imbalance in the Stranger Things world, and the whole concept of the Upside Down was so new, so fresh, and we ate that up. Sympathy was more because the heroes were literal kids, and the villain, the big dark, we did not know much about it. Therefore, the horror factor was alive. Now the show has come to a Terminator meets Alien vs Predator sort of a space, and the newness is completely gone. The concept is not new to the viewers, and it is definitely not new to the characters in the show as well. They simply know too much. So once upon a time, the risk was higher because they didn't know what they were up against. They are now armed with maps, plans, trackers, shotguns. They also have a guy who's supplying them with these things quite easily. They know how Vecna controls his Demogorgon foot soldiers. They know his weakness, temperature, not his, chalo his creature look ka weakness, but they just know too much. And knowledge gives power, and you don't feel so much sympathy for someone who has power. Eleven herself is no longer a young helpless girl constantly fighting off foes to just survive in this planet. Now suddenly she's Lady Rambo training to ambush Vecna. So the whole fear factor, which sort of always loomed in the idea of them coming face to face with Vecna, is now gone because they are actively hunting Vecna, and Vecna is actively hiding behind a wall. There is nothing scary left in him. Turning the Upside Down into Navi Hawkins has also brought down its aura. A place that was once so scary, these guys people couldn't even think of stepping in there and coming out alive, has a military base now, and it is run by who? Sarah Connor. No wonder Vecna stays in his lane. That apart, military nobodies are just driving in and out of Upside Down like it's nothing, and one guy even takes a piss there. As far as the characters are concerned, they have grown up and they look so out of place. We've seen the actors grow up gradually through the different seasons, and to keep the child connect alive, the Duffer Brothers keep introducing a brand new child actor each season. This time it's Holly. Coming back to the oddly grown ex-child actors. Eleven, as I said, she has turned Rambo. Mike, I don't know. Why does he carry around D&D characters in a small pouch with him? It's not like some emergency game is going to happen and Fatak say he has to take out his characters and play. If any of you guys play Dungeons and Dragons, I've never even seen a board. I just heard about it in these American shows. Dustin is being a jerk. Lucas, nothing notable in him. And maybe I'm confused, but wasn't Sam talking the last time when she came back from the dead? She's in a coma now. Or was she in a coma? See, this is why you shouldn't put such long gaps between seasons. You know, when I saw the boombox, I was like, shit, Kate Bush, bajiyo na, please don't play Kate Bush. Our Parchina up the hill run korte, but yes, they had to play that running up the hill song. It's so overdone. It's a great song, by the way. Check out her discography. It's really amazing. Robin's character is borderline annoying. Baby Kill Bill talks too much.
Your friend, entertainer, and DJ Robin Buckley. Nice to meet you, aka Rockin' Robin.
But it's also one of her lines which turns on the hero switch in Will later on. And then there's the throuple. God, these three need to figure their shit out. How old was Jonathan, by the way, in the show? He looks older than his mom. The person who did do something different and heroic was Mike's mom, who finally made some good use of her wine bottle. And the new kid, Derek, he's so funny.
Holy shit, Dad's wasted again.
Damn Kamina, but funny. The season starts with Will's flashback, so naturally he is very important this season. Finally, his connection to the hive mind is giving him more features than just goosebumps and seizures, and this you get to see in the last minute of the entire series. Well, not series, that again volume 1, and it is completely worth the wait. Vecna yaar, he used to be a super villain, now he's a kidnapper. All in all, season 5 is not a drag. It does have its moments, but it completely lacks novelty and is very predictable. I mean, this is what happens when you take 10 years to finish a story. People move on and interest shrinks. The only people benefiting from this are the YouTube channels with the recap videos, because I watched too. But since Stranger Things is such a big brand and any story, even the dullest story in this world, is a good one, I am looking forward to volume 2 and the finale, and I have so many questions. Why was Will kidnapped way back when? Why is there a Great Wall of Vecna? What does the military want with the Upside Down? Although this I can guess because I have watched and read enough X-Men to know what the military would want to do with the mutants. And finally, what happens to the whole Upside Down world? Because apparently a door opens and it closes and it opens and it closes. The next installment will be out after Christmas, and the finale will be out on 31st of December. And this is kind of a diss. It's like the makers know that the Stranger Things fandom will not be invited to any party. वो घर ही पे बैठ के TV देखेंगे. This does not apply to us though, because we in India will watch it next year, 1st of January, and I'll be watching it. Okay, that's it. Please like and subscribe to my channel because you're good people. No?